RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. God damn. It's been super mild around this motherfucker lately. You can tell the season wants to change. Just kind of creeping in a little bit, cooling down. Got some hot days still. But the mornings are a little cooler. And it's like that perfect weather where at night you really don't need your AC, especially if you had it on during the day at all. You can just open the windows in the house and like the breeze just be any chance I get to get like the natural air. I mean, I know the air polluted got shit in it. I don't know what they spraying over our heads every fucking day. But as much clean air or fresh air as you can get, then I would rather do that. I don't even like using the AC in the car. I'll roll the window down and just deal with it until it's like really just too hot to be doing that. But I'll fight it for a while because I just like feeling the air blowing, around me. All that artificial AC air shit, fuck all that. I avoid that shit as much as possible. But thank goodness for it, because goddamn, the fuck was y'all doing 200 years ago? No AC around this bitch. Fucking hot as fuck. And motherfuckers weren't even really showering and bathing and shit the way they supposed to been. Yeah. I bet the whole fucking air just stunk in public. Just yeah, y'all crazy. Yeah, man, what we want to talk about today, man? Just armor yourself in general. Man, it's election year, man. Expect for things to go on. There's gonna be some more shocking mass shootings, I'm sure of it. There's gonna be some more oaths of office being broken right in front of everybody, with nobody doing anything about it. That's gonna happen too. Another day of that'll continue. It always happens. Every day you watch a politician break his oath of office, or a cop or a judge or a lawyer, they're all guilty of doing it. No one notices that inherently what it is that it takes to be a police officer, for example, will cause them to violate the Constitution. And they fall into this violation because they rely on what the paper said, what the magical paper says where they are geographically through these fake ass artificial lines, state lines, county lines, shit like that. They rely on that and they say, because I am in this location, I will use my entire physical being to enforce the laws on the books, whether it gets me killed or whether I have to kill anybody out here. They out here thinking a cop will shoot any of you motherfuckers if you do the right thing. All of you. You see what I'm saying? But they're supposed to be the protectors. But you know that when they come to you, this is what you're dealing with first and foremost. This unspoken threat on your life that you have to comply, or you could be killed at any given time in an interaction with a police officer. They expect compliance and domination. But if they allow something that frivolous, something that fragile, and something that lightweight onto the scale to balance it between their own moral compass, and then they say, man, whatever the magical paper says inside this jurisdiction is what I'm going to live and die for or be killed for. But then you see different jurisdictions handling different things in different ways, like gun laws between the state of Iowa and the state of Illinois. I was born and raised in Illinois. I've lived in Iowa for more than half my life now. And I gotta say, looking at the differences in the laws and how they handle gun ownership between these two neighboring states is such a contradiction that right away you can't even be honest unless you say, well, one of these states is doing it very wrong, because they're way too different in the gun laws for everybody to think both of these states are in line with the Constitution. No, the fuck they not. No, they are not. One of these states is wrong as fuck about how they handle that gun shit. Joke's on you, motherfucker. They're all wrong, because Iowa still has enough gun laws and regulations in place that prove that they are moving on geographical things to determine how they interpret this shit. They are casually watching another fucking state live in violation, and there is no against all enemies, foreign or domestic. They don't mean that domestic part, and it's obvious that they don't mean it, because the state of Iowa is watching the state of Illinois violate everybody about that gun shit. When we say we're doing it right over here, that means that they think that Illinois is doing it wrong, but they won't fight them for that. There's never a challenge between states about, hey, as another state, we telling you, change that shit, bro. Y'all in violation right in front of everybody. This is why there's no such thing as a good cop. Because cops won't think outside of that and then look for a bottom line. They say that they will kill or be killed for whatever the jurisdiction where they are says, and then that's going to be their interpretation. Do you think that every cop in any of these jurisdictions said that they fully know and agree with everything being said about their line of duty, their responsibilities, and how that measures up to the fucking Constitution? They don't know or understand or even intend on standing on business in that way. But they'll talk like that. Do you ask any cop, you down for your oath of office? You took an oath of office, right? They go, yeah. Like, you living that shit? Like, you really doing? They be like, yeah, I'm good. They be like, no, the fuck you not, and I can prove you not. And I can show you a whole bunch of other fucking cops in another state, or maybe even in another county, depending on what we're talking about, how they say, no, they gonna handle it like this. So either you right or they right, and whoever's wrong is supposed to be challenged by whoever think they right. Y'all don't challenge each other to try to smooth this shit out like peanut butter, bruh. Y'all don't do that. That's not y'all aim, y'all intent. And thus, there's no such thing as a good one. You're all fucking half-ass doing your job right in front of everybody, pretending that you are fucking stand-up citizens out here to protect. Man, shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You're a robot. Cannon fodder used to just build this fucking seemingly unpenetratable fucking barrier between us and the elite, bro. First wall is the police, and look how rough they are. But it's an illusion, though. 200, it's just over 200 police officers in Cedar Rapids. What's the population of Cedar Rapids? It got to be like 150, 160 something, 150 some thousand people maybe. How the fuck we all being like dominated in this way that we all look at police officers and go, that's the authority, and maybe the sheriff's office too. The sheriff's office, they the supposed real authority. They ain't no better. They in violation of all they shit too, because they let geographical things cement them into what the Constitution is supposed to be, and then they ignore when other people have contradicting jurisdictions. That's an admittance that somebody, if y'all can't agree, then one of y'all are wrong. Period. What I do with this open carry shit over here in Iowa will get me shot down in Illinois and other states, New York, California, Florida. They justify shooting at me. If I go, no, I'm keeping my fucking gun on me openly in public. Fuck you gonna do about it? I'm keeping this shit. You can't tell me shit. I ain't going nowhere. If I stood on that shit in Iowa, they'll go, okay, sir, you right. The cops won't even stop to even talk to me most of the time that they see me. The percentage of cops that see me and feel the need or the desire to have to stop to address me about that shit is low. Is low, even though it does happen in sensitive situations to make it happen. Somebody caused a ruckus, made some fucking death threats to his own self and to other people with an AR pistol in Cedar Rapids a few months ago, 7 months ago or something like that. And tensions were high because the police had to put this man down. So everybody's like, wow, what just happened here in Cedar Rapids? I went out the very next day and did an open carry demonstration about 3 blocks from where they had to shoot this dude at, because I knew it would be sensitive. And it was, because they came out there to ask me what my ID, they can get my ID and shit, but they never do that. But in a sensitive state, they thought that they needed to come ID me, and I denied that ID request on my YouTube channel. I can't even remember what the name of the video is. I denied that ID request, and the motherfucker walked off with nothing, as usual. But I knew that when they passed me all the fucking time and waved, that their sensitivity about what somebody else did would make them approach me like maybe they don't know what I'm doing all of a sudden because of what somebody else did. I fucking showed you who they are. Pussies. Emotionally fucking manipulated by the news and how they feel about things that'll make him say something that he thought would be wrong for him to do the day a week before dude did that. He felt justified in doing it after that guy did that over something that somebody else did that I didn't do. They even showed that even me being who it is that I am wasn't enough for them to say, oh, somebody got shot down with the police. It was a police involved shooting. They had to shoot this guy down with an AR pistol yesterday. When we see Trey, that's Trey from 2 weeks ago. We know who he is. He always does this, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to drive by. They could not let it go that day. That they had to address me anyway. And I showed that Cedar Rapids police, y'all wishy-washy, bro. I'm trying to warm y'all up so that this doesn't happen, but then it happened right in front of me and everybody else. I got out there the day after dude got smoked by the cops with this AR pistol to see if y'all would be sensitive, and y'all was. Because y'all never asked me for my ID, but that very next day you did. Why, man? That's proof that when they drive past me, saluting, waving, sometimes the cop hit their horn, they fucking do the fist pumping, all that type of shit when they see me. Or sometimes they avoid me. I got to make my video where you can see a cop coming down the street because I came down in another sensitive time. When they show me sensitive areas, I'll go there and do an open carry demo so I can check their ass. And I went down to the news station here in Cedar Rapids after they had somebody roaming around their property checking doors, and he had a bulletproof vest and a pistol in his hand, not in a holster, in his hand, like this, right? And then they put that on the news and try to scare people about how open carry it was, because they said this is legal, but they show them trying to get in the fucking place, and that's not legal. You can't put a pistol in your hand and check locked doors on the fucking building and think that you can be left alone because open carry is legal. But they tried to scare people with that story instead of telling them about me. And then they put that on the news when I tried to call their ass out for weeks before then. They would not call me back. They would not address me. Motherfuckers won't get on the phone with me or nothing down at the news station because they some bitches, and I knew they was going to do this. I'm miles ahead of y'all. I've been doing this for almost 6 years. I knew y'all was going to act like this, but it's way too late. You cannot ignore 6 years of me doing this in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, as if when you put this show on, that I haven't already shown you that the show like that should have no effect on the people, that we should just whistle Dixie, go on about our day, and buy the fucking AR-15 when y'all talking that dumb shit. We not even supposed to fall for that. I'm trying to clear that space for us so that we can just walk past y'all illusion when y'all try to pop out with that shit, and I knew y'all was gonna do this. I'm already ahead of y'all. I fucked y'all shit up. I fucked it up. What y'all gonna do? It's way too late. Now you're gonna look crazy to ignore me and what it is that I'm fucking saying, but this is what they do. I went down there when they got all sensitive about that shit. I went right to the fucking news station. Across the fucking street, open carry demo, AR-15 out and all that. Right? Somebody called the police, I knew they would. You can see the police come down the street in my video. You can see them circling. And when one tried to come in my direction so that they would have to drive past me, I put my camera out and stood out there and waited for him. The motherfucker stopped, busted a U-turn, and avoided me. He avoided me. He avoided me. I got it on camera. I got to put my video together. I got to edit that video and do that. I recorded it to my phone instead of doing a live stream because I was losing my live streams at the time because a hater was just flagging my videos and shit. And I didn't want to capture their reaction to the sensitive area in town with this bullshit story that they tried to feed the public out here. I hope people got on their news station and mentioned me to them in the fucking comments. That's what's supposed to happen, that enough people know me around here that when they see that news article, that they get on KCRG's Facebook page or something and go, a bullshit. What about Trey, Vietnam, and the AR-15 open carry demos he been doing around here all the time? You got to clash and contradict the fucking image y'all trying to put out here when this man has already been out here doing this. Way ahead of y'all. It's way too late. Every fake little bullshit story they do like that should bounce off anybody that ever saw me out here. Defusing their shit. Fuck them. This motherfucking cop avoided me on camera. You'll see him bust a U-turn. Niggas scared of me. They're scared of me, bro. They will not address me like that. Now, of course, they can fake something, dude. I'm not saying the police are scared of what I'm going to do to them. I'm telling you that my agenda is just untouchable. What I got going on is untouchable. They got to avoid me. They got to ignore me in the middle of this because they can't just address me. They can't address me. They have to stay away from me. They have to pretend like they don't see me at all. RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang get a gun today and then like chin check the fuck out of their agenda. Get your ass outside with your gun and say, face it now, face it now. I can't conceal carry and prove no point to you. It's worth to give up whatever tactical advantage that is for me to prove this fucking point right now. I open carry lead a pistol every day. Every day is an open carry demo. Every day, motherfucker. I got to make y'all face this shit so when they start talking that shit, y'all be like, what? The dude that shop in this grocery store every fucking week with his pistol on his hip is not a bad guy. The news should not even be able to convince y'all completely that that when they say jump, be scared, be fearful, y'all should see me in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind as an example and say, well, that ain't 100% true, Mr. Newsman. You can't scare me too much with none of your stories, because I already hugged this dude. I hugged this dude 3 times in the past 6 years out here. People got these stories, and they should bounce off them when they try to shit with the news. That's what I got out here for, defusing they shit. I fucked they shit up in Cedar Rapids, and everybody should know me so that the illusion falls apart in this way that I'm describing. Every fucking where y'all at? Why am I ain't popular at all. I can't even get 5 subs on my, man, come on, man. This shit crazy. The shadow ban and all that shit. Listen to what it is that I'm saying and watch what it is that I'm doing. They don't want this to be common knowledge that I get out here like this, because news like this, it just won't have the same effect anymore. Some people go, I'm not as scared about what this scary story is. Because it'll take a lot to to circumvent what it is that I've already proven. To anybody who ever lays eyes on me, they're harder to fool with this shit now. They're just a little harder to be driven by fear of bullshit gun shit, especially the way KCRG tried to do their news story. That shit whack, bro. It looks staged, actually. It looks super staged. What up, Amy? Rick James, Mikey, Texas Shepherd, what up? Charlie, what up? Mike Cool, what up? Which I believe you on my IG too, Michael. Jacqueline, what up? Crack that code. There's Amy. What up, Amy? Man, peace and love to y'all, man. Pay attention to what they got going on when they trying to fool you about how this gun shit is supposed to go. It was never up to government to determine whether you can have the tools to revolt or not. As soon as they think that they have any say, you got to know that the Second Amendment is the reason why they think that this shit is debatable, that they do have a say. Then the Second Amendment have given them a foot in the door that should have never been touched in the first place. They're not supposed to mention the gun shit to you at all, because under no circumstance would it ever be up to a potential government, a potential tyrannical government, to say whether we can have this shit or not. This is one thing that's off the table of discussion. The Second Amendment is their reason to say, no, we do have something to talk about, and you're going to respect the discussion. And if you lose the debate and you start losing the grip on this shit, it'll have to be for your betterment, and you got to know that the people have spoken. This is your choice. You guys are choosing this through your vote and through your representatives and the blah, 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 and then they fucking represent, they don't represent you. The representatives are all bought off. They just want you to look to that to say whatever it is that they say must have been what it was that the people wanted. So even if I disagree with it and it becomes law, and this was a debate and then we lost the debate, just let that shit go. The law is the law. They want you to let go like that. They want you to let go like that. That Constitution is a fucking motherfucker, man. There's something wrong with that shit. You can't even debate what the fuck it is I just said. If you respect the Second Amendment, you can't debate what I just said. I diffused the fuck out that Second Amendment. When have you ever seen a gun rights activist that does not like the Constitution, that think that it's a pain to us? We bleed not because of that Constitution, because they are able to walk us down about something that they can't just come right out and say, because little by little they say, through this elective process that you guys are agreeing to every time you vote and you rely on this, and we got violence to back it up, so we'll just kill y'all if you don't go along. But we'll tiptoe with y'all. We'll take 5 feet from your ass, and then if you back us down 2 or 3 feet, that's okay, because we will, in small increments, boil the fucking frog so we can get in on y'all about these gun rights, because you can't have them guns for the future that we got planned for y'all. It's not that hard to figure out. They're using the Constitution to do that. They need to tiptoe. The Constitution gives them the tiptoe. It's a tool to give them the tiptoe energy. Without which, if they relied on natural laws, like I'm trying to get y'all to focus on, because I didn't need no Constitution for none of this shit to be true about me. And we focus on that, there is no debating, there is no tiptoe process. They say we don't want you to have that gun. Then we say it's my nature to have the fucking gun. And if you want it, don't you know you gotta prove it that you really want that shit by dying for it? Because arguing and debating and winning these little stupid debates, and I wasn't even there to speak my piece. It ain't even up to me. It's up to a representative who I did not vote for, who I don't trust, who has been bought off, capable of fucking sexual blackmail and all type of shit. This corrupted, damaged fucking person is my representative about this? Y'all don't see what's wrong with this story? Stop supporting that constitutional shit. The Constitution, if it's so good, is based on so much natural shit that it's still true if they got rid of the whole Constitution. Just tell them if they want anything from us, we are going to fight them, and that there's no other place for them to go. No court of law. I'm not finna argue with y'all. I'm not going to argue interpretations or somebody versus the state or whatever the fuck, and then they won, and then this became case law. I don't give a fuck about that shit. The gun is mine. The gun is mine. I don't need to know about, be privy to, master this fucking constitutional law, or none of that shit for me to claim my freedom. The freedom is for the dumb guy who can't fucking figure this shit out or nothing. It's true freedom, and it's available to everybody, and you can tell because there is no silly, superficial prerequisites for something so natural. You don't even need to be smart to get your freedom. You don't got to outsmart them to get it. You got it because you're here. And it should be that simple that the average man can explain it that simply. And that it becomes undeniable to any man on any spectrum, on any place on the spectrum of intelligence. It wouldn't matter. It's that simple. Did I create a victim? Nah, you didn't. Well, then you have to leave me alone in anything that I do at all, regardless of how it makes you feel. And then feelings change? Come on, bro. And feelings can be manipulated. Come on, bro. It's not up to any of that. I have to be creating a victim. You have to point to a victim who has a grievance with something that I did before you can address me about anything at all. Doesn't matter. Taxation, the length of my AR barrel, all that shit, man. Shut your bitch ass up or fight about it. And we told them that they had to die to get the next level of gun control. Then they'd either die, which is fine by me, or they'll fight us and get it, which, hey, what else did I expect? I expect for the nature to come into play, no matter how much they try to fake this law society illusionary bullshit. What's really going to come into play, what's really at the bottom line of everything that they do, because they use the violence anyway, is we will exert violence onto you that you could not protect yourself from, and thus we will rule you. That's what the actual fight is about. Who's good at the violence and who's willing to bring violence to get what it is that they want. If you make them die for the next level of gun control, you will just be free with your guns because they're not going to fight you like that. Challenge them to that because they challenge you to it. They wrote a law and said no compliance to this law means that we'll kill you. Every law in the book is a threat to your life. Once a police officer engages you, without total domination, you start running a risk that he or she would kill you. They need total domination. If a cop thinks that he's got a right to get on your heels about something, try doing this. Fuck you, and walking away from him. Or driving off. What happens? They freak out. And they assume violence on your part. Even when you are in flight mode, they assume potential violence too. They address you aggressively, assuming the violence all of the time. There's an assumption of a balance of violence or a challenge, a violent challenge, to be the final word or the determining factor of how these things go. And they bring that to the table happily. When I say bring all of the violence in defense of everything that anybody tries to do to you, no matter whether it's a cop or not, then people try and act like I said something crazy. But at the bottom line root of this, on a natural baseline fundamental level, that is what everybody is saying to everybody else. There's always that potential for violence. And if I have to use violence to show you that I mean what it is, then maybe I will just do that. And that's not even always right or fair, but it is very possible. It's always like that. And you got to know that. So stop playing. RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang, get a gun, boy.